an artist who couldn't live to see how far his art went. Stay tuned to find out more. Welcome to Days Nation. We aim to bring fun, entertainment, and educational facts about our world at one junction. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Here are a few things you probably don't know about Vincent van Gogh. Van Gogh was only 37 years old when he passed away, and had only sold one painting. He did not live long enough to witness the full scope of his legacy, which includes the fact that several of his works are currently among the most valuable in the world. Van Gogh had experimented with a variety of occupations before the age of 27. To mention a few, he had worked as a lay priest, a teacher, and an art dealer. He abruptly gave up these jobs and made the decision to devote all of his attention to painting and drawing. Over the course of his career, he made close to 900 paintings and 1,100 works on paper. Crazy, isn't it? Even though it's generally accepted that Van Gogh had a mental disorder, we can't be completely certain of the specifics. His symptoms, which included hallucinations, sadness, and seizures, which might be quite severe, are nevertheless reasonably well recognized. Despite coming from a wealthy family, Van Gogh lived in poverty for most of his adult life and subsisted on inexpensive food, and not much of it. He consumed primarily bread and coffee for food, drank copiously, and was never seen without his pipe. Although his brother frequently gave to his cause, Van Gogh, who was devoted to his art, decided to use every penny to buy more materials for his creations. Van Gogh spent a lot of time in and out of hospitals due to his frequently bad mental state. He began garnering the notice of his neighbors as his hallucinations and delusions grew worse and more frequent over time. They dubbed him Le Fou Rou, the red-headed madman, terrified by his actions, and banded together to gather support for a petition against him, the Arles petition. Most people have heard the rumor that Van Gogh cut off his ear, but while this did occur, the specifics have never been proven. Apparently, Van Gogh and Gogh, a close friend of his, were arguing. Van Gogh eventually threatened his companion with a razor after the debate became increasingly heated. Van Gogh cut off a portion of his own ear, wrapped it in a cloth, and then gave it to a prostitute rather than actually hurting Gogh. After the ear incident, Van Gogh made the decision to check himself into the St. Paul de Massol Hospital, which was at the time referred to as an asylum. There, he was diagnosed with acute mania with generalized delirium. Fortunately for Van Gogh, he was able to continue his artistic endeavors while he was in the hospital, and he would spend days gazing out the barred windows at the landscape below. He finished his most well-known piece here, Starry Night. He ultimately shot himself in the chest. Van Gogh's terrible final words to his brother on his deathbed were, "The sadness will linger forever." If he was alive, he'd be ecstatic to see how far his art had gone. Thanks for watching this video. That was Days Nation for you. Keep coming back and stay entertained. Don't forget to subscribe.